Hey guys, welcome back to another CYBL Central Today talk show podcast, should I say. Yeah, man, we've had an incredible season in the Central Conference. So many crazy games, man. A lot of crazy games, a lot of like iconic moments this regular season, bro. Man, what like, bro? Tell us what your take is, man, on this season. Your recap on this regular season. So,
Yeah, it's been one of the best regular seasons I think we've had. I mean, when you look back at last season, there was it was pretty even, right? Like there was five teams tied for first place, but this is the first
yeah,
season with divisions
divisions.
and what like and it's well where you stay in your division for
Hmm.
playoffs anyways. I mean,
Yeah,
and so that's kind of like the crazy part, man, because it's no longer like you like looking across like, oh, okay, yeah, well, we'll match up with them. No, like you're looking in your own division. You're like, oh man, we've got these guys to play,
yeah.
and then if we beat them, we've got this team, right? So it's a bit more like set in stone now, and who you'll be matching up with. And like, I mean, to have two teams with perfect records,
Wow. We
wow,
never
man.
had that before, ever.
Yeah. And you and I were just talking like the
Yeah.
Strikers and the Flames both hit over 300 points this season, and
It's
we're not even sure if any team's ever done that before. So like some huge offensive juggernauts, and then you've got in the legacy division, you've got the Lions, who were the only team to stay under 200 points again.
it's
So
crazy, man.
what a crazy season, man.
It's been unbelievable, bro. Like I'm looking at this and I'm going like, you have the best defensive team in the legacy division here, and there's nobody even close. Like there's nobody even close, man. Like that
No.
that is that is saying something like unreal. And I mean, credit to their coach Glenn, you
Yes.
know, just getting that whole team together. They look. I would say that this year's Lions would beat last year's. This season's Lions would beat last season's Lions.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
I believe that. I believe that. And the reason why I believe that, even though I know there was Zach on that team, the reason why I believe it is it feels like every player believes and every
Mm.
player is like in it together and like every part is producing. You know what I mean? It's like the whole machine. Anyway, I know I'm
Yeah.
talking about the Lions right now, but
No,
like,
no, you're good, man. Because yeah, like that team has got to be one of the most complete teams in the
hmm
league. Like if we're just starting off with them, they've got to be as far as like you see every piece just fitting perfectly together.
yeah,
Every piece giving their whole effort. I mean, like or even their star players, man. Like they're not even trying hard yet. Like they because like, the thing is when you're a team and that's the difference. Like
hmm
they don't have to be all running up and down the court,
yeah,
taking a million shots, getting all the rebounds. No, because
yeah,
they trust in one another to do their job on that
yeah.
team. And so they are a unit. And it's going to be interesting to see them. I really want to see them pressured in a game, like actually fighting and see like who's going to come out. Like I know Jacob Hackett's been huge for them this season.
Incredible.
Incredible.
He's top seven in scoring right now.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Riem have to really take it to the next
Yeah.
level yet. So
hmm
imagine if he has to bring it, and if Eddie has to bring it, and Ethan Judd, and you know what I mean, like all
Wow.
their top guys, if they're gonna have to step it up, that's gonna be a crazy game. And so I kind of look
Uh,
forward to their challenge within the playoffs.
do you think there's anybody in Legacy that can stop them? If so, who?
The only team I see having a fighting chance against them is the Warriors.
Hmm.
And that would be in the semifinals
That'd be
because
semis. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, and I mean, who knows if the Warriors even make it? They got True North after they just had the tightest game of the season, man. Like I know we did have some overtimes, but
Yes.
that was as tight as you get to overtime
No,
without
no,
getting
yeah.
there, man. That was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Shout outs to Ashton Peckett
Yes,
in his
yes.
second last season at CYBL, and this guy is
Really? He's
Yep.
that close.
Yeah, he's his second last. We got a whole generation that is retiring, bro. We got a whole
Ashton,
generation.
no, Ashton's not in grade
He's in,
12, is
he's
he?
in grade 12. He's in grade 12.
No.
Yes,
Ah,
I
that's
know.
terrible.
I know. We
That's
have a
terrible.
whole generation of players, man, that are retired.
Wow.
And, I mean, not yet. Still another season to go, but we're
Yeah.
knocking on the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you look at this year. I know how hungry he tasted he tasted the Gideon Cup. He tasted that. It was like right in his grasp 2 seasons ago, right?
Yeah.
So I just I don't know. I see a different player. I'm watching
Yeah.
Ashton play, and he doesn't look like the same player. He looks like a player that is like willed, determined,
Right.
not just
Yeah.
like you know how like you have like a leader, but he's more than just a
Hmm.
leader right now. He's a warrior. He
Right.
literally is
Yeah.
embodying a warrior right now.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, and I think like that whole team, right? They've been together a while.
Hmm.
They've got a ton of pieces, right? Like
Yes, yes,
no
yes.
one can deny that team is full of talent,
Hmm.
and they're just full of heart, right? Like that's
Yeah.
really like when it comes down to it, they're not only skillful, but they like you always wonder how are they double teaming every player that gets the ball all the time? Like and why isn't everyone exhausted on that team?
I
Because
know.
they're booking it around like crazy and they do it perfectly. They don't, they don't even look exhausted at all. And so I think if there is a team that's going to beat the Lions, it's going to be them. And I
Hmm.
think the blessing for the Warriors is the Flames have always had their number, right?
Hmm.
So they just haven't seemed to be able to get past them
Yeah.
and at whatever stage it may be, right? And so I think this is going to give them that runway again if they
Hmm.
are going to see the Flames in the
Yeah.
finals,
Yeah.
this gives them that runway to get the momentum and hopefully finally take down their giant.
That would be something, man.
Yeah,
And it's
that
and
would be
it
a
is
story, man.
that
That would
would
be a
be a story.
story
That would
because
be a
they would
story.
have to beat the two teams that have went undefeated this season. That
Yeah.
would be their story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really the giants of the
Yes.
Central Conference, man. The giants of the
Yeah.
Central Conference are the Lions and the Flames. And then you have kind of like an up and coming giant in the Strikers. They're like
Oh yeah.
they're like this season is a season I think for them too. I know we're not talking about I'm jumping all over the place, but it's just because
No, no,
there's,
it's good.
there's
Yeah.
so many exciting things to talk about, man. So many things. But this is the season for the Strikers where they literally are on the precipice of like becoming who they
Yeah.
were meant to be. Like, you
Right.
know, that their whole rebuild that they've had
Hmm.
essentially the last few seasons has brought them to this point where, man, Braden Taylor Smith,
Hmm.
Adamo, just their whole squad is just
Oh
like
yeah.
their whole squad, man, is is literally in sync. And they're, I mean, I think they're going to a deep run. If not to the finals, a deep run for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they've got I think the matchup they were hoping for, that they don't end up facing us in the first round, which was a close game
Oh
for them,
yeah.
right? Like it got away from us at the end there, but otherwise, like it was a back and forth
Mm-hmm.
game, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that they've probably got the matchup they wanted, and now they're, they've got to look ahead to either us or the Flames in the second round, which isn't an easy bite either, right? So
You're the
they
hardest. It's the hardest. It's the hardest division. It's the hardest
yes,
division. There's
yeah,
no like if you think about it. Like I said this to you before, but like the the Destiny division is like the Western Conference in the NBA.
yeah, absolutely,
Like
yeah,
they are stacked. I feel like yeah, I feel like right now it's like it's so hard to even imagine. Like you have if you think about who could come out of the Destiny, you have you guys, which is like they have a three-time MVP, you know, like an eight-time All-Star, you know what I mean? Along with if Justin Koski comes back, which we hope he does, you know, you have an incredible defender. I'd say like top five perimeter defender in the league. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you've got a supporting cast that's been growing into their player like Mark Murphy, who's stepped onto the scene, and you're like,
yeah,
you have to be kidding me. He's not in
yeah,
the most improved player conversation right now.
yes,
You
yeah.
have like I am
Uh,
blown away at the drastic incline that this guy
yeah,
is
yeah.
taking
Well, and
part of.
I think that speaks to, if there's any question ever about Aiden's ability to bring players around him up, right? Because
Mm.
that's often something we talk about, like,
You
not
talk about the
just
GOAT?
like when you're talking about the greatest of all time,
Yeah.
it's not just about you, right? Like that, it can't just be about you because
Okay.
it's like that, like you could be the greatest player, but if you can't help your team get to the next level,
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
what are you really, right?
Yeah,
You're just a great individual, right? But
exactly.
I think you're starting to see, like, and it's not just Mark. Like, I think like a lot of the guys on the team, they struggled with traveling, they struggled with like catching the ball. You're
Hmm.
seeing like Elijah Lemieux. He's been consistently getting points on the board at
Hmm.
almost every game now,
Wow.
and like that he wouldn't have even taken a shot before.
Yeah, yeah,
Seeing
yeah.
him that one game not too long ago dribble all the way from our end to his end, pump fakes. I think it was Riem or someone, and then go up. Like that's crazy, right? So I think that
Crazy.
like all of that speaks to it, right? When you do
Hmm.
look at Mark, I think it speaks to what Aiden brings to the table to the team, right, as a leader. So yeah, no, you are right, man. The Destiny division definitely is like a juggernaut, and it's just like you look at the Flames, man. They have a 108-point
Oh
differential.
my
Like that
goodness.
that that means they're averaging per game beating teams by 18 points. Like that's unheard of. That's just that's just something else, right? So
And you got them in the first round, bro.
yeah, well, we were the only team to keep them to 8 points.
You were there. You
So
were. You were.
and so I think that we definitely feel we have a good system for them.
Hmm.
We definitely wanted to see them on the bigger court. We feel we have a better advantage on the bigger court. This
Yeah.
is kind of like Nathan's home. It's this kind of like
Home court
a
advantage.
home game advantage for him,
Yeah.
like this is where he thrives is on these courts. He doesn't like it doesn't matter where he shoots. It's a good spot for him wherever he can shoot. So
Yeah. Yeah. He,
yeah,
he can pull. We've seen it where he literally pulls up behind the half court.
yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, think about all the clutch shots he's made over the years, here at these courts, right? And so it's kind of, and not that he hasn't done it at other ones, but it's just definitely the percentage is definitely higher here, and you don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
No, no, you don't.
Yeah.
He, he is a Steph Curry of CYBL. That's what we can say right now. He's a Steph Curry of CYBL, and I love this collision course though because him in his prime going up against Aiden Stockton, the GOAT, as he
Yes.
comes to the end of his CYBL career, anyways.
Yeah.
We see that, and it's like, oh man, this is a classic. Of course,
It is a classic.
we would like to see it later on because we've seen it later on, the double overtime
Yes.
semifinals game. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
to see it at any point is an
Hmm.
exciting. We have to cherish these moments because we're not gonna get these moments forever. These moments are only
Yeah.
we don't have these
Yeah.
moments forever. So it definitely is one. Do you think? I guess who do you think is an underdog as we go into the playoffs? I wasn't gonna talk. I was about to go into like playoff predictions, but we're already kind of partially there anyway. So
Right.
who do you
Yeah.
think? Who do you think is the underdog in these? And what do you think for them would be an X factor in order to get them to make an upset?
Right. So I think there's two in each division, right? So I think True North, um, they're the underdog just because they haven't been clicking yet. Like they've shown moments of clicking,
Yeah,
and when they do, like that second half against the Warriors, you saw them make that comeback, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If when they can click and when they can make those plays, they're a fantastic
They're
team,
a
and
fantastic team.
they could beat anyone. They could beat the Lions. They have enough pieces on that team to beat the Lions, and
Hmm.
so I think if Josh can really rally that team together, right? Coach Josh has been doing an amazing
Josh,
job this season. He's really stepped up. I love it.
yeah,
Unfortunately, he inherited some of my bad habits as a coach, but no, he's doing good. I love to see the passion. passion, it's okay. You can train to hold passion down, but you
Yeah,
can't usually train people to let
to
the
have
passion.
passion.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so he's doing a good job. But yeah, that team, and then in our division, it's the Knights. Now
Mm.
the Knights at the start of the season,
It was
we're
incredible to
looking
watch.
like a team, like if that team stayed the way they were playing, is
Hmm.
unbeatable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they showed a lot of heart beating the Rams, who were fighting state to keep their playoff hopes alive, right?
I know,
So
I know.
they that was a close game. I think, that might have given the Knights enough life to,
Hmm.
maybe make that run, maybe believe in themselves again as a team. And honestly, I got to coach them for a game, and that was something we talked about, being positive to your teammates. And I think if they can keep that attitude,
Hmm.
because that's really what it is for them. It has nothing to do with a lack of talent. It has nothing to do with a lack of effort. It has
Yeah.
to do with attitude. And if their attitude remains right, they can absolutely win it. There's no doubt in my mind they could go deep.
I'm glad that you say that because, like, they were a team that started off 2-0 to then go on a 3-game losing streak. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So, like, that takes a toll on you when you have that three. And just actually, as we saw in the Eastern Conference recently, there was the Sharks in the Eastern Conference. That just happened to them, where
Right,
they were on a losing streak to start the season, though.
right,
And
right.
then the flip switched, and then there's like this momentum, and you just go with it. So, like,
Yeah.
this could have been a spark that they needed, the Knights needed, in order to ignite something as a team again. Um, and again, for them, there's no easy game. Like, I don't think any team has an easy. There's no easy game in the Destiny
Yeah.
division. It's just not. It's not the way it is. It's too. It's like it's intense, man. It's every
Well,
game's
when you
gonna be.
look at the Destiny division, no one has, in the Legacy, there's two teams that didn't win a game, right?
Yeah,
In the
exactly.
Destiny, every team won at
At
least
least two
two games.
games. That's
Yeah,
big, big.
that's big. Yeah.
That is big. And I mean, like, you're looking at it, like, the Eagles could easily be in the position
Ah,
that you guys are in right now.
yeah, I know. Point differential, man. That's crazy.
That's it. That's literally it.
Yeah.
They could be there right now, and they're a playoff team. It is
Hmm.
unfortunate. I think that there were some things earlier on in the season that
Yeah.
that just a game or so that didn't go their way. That if that had gone their way, like, we're looking at a different picture right now, right? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's crazy. Every team has two. I mean, when you go over to Legacy, man, and you look at like that, can can you see? I feel like this could be the story. This could be a big story if it does happen. Could you see the Angels taking down the Lions? Could you see it?
Can't. I feel bad saying that. I wish I want to see it.
I
I
know.
want, like, everything in my body wants to see it. And then I just look at the Lions and I feel like I'm looking at, like, I don't even know, man, like the best team that we could have assembled without knowing it. Like when
Yeah.
we put that team together, we thought, this is a mid-pack team, like that, we
Hmm.
try to be honest with ourselves,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this one's a little bit heftier, but like it's hard to, gauge all that when you're making the teams. But when we
Hmm.
looked at them, there was no way we were thinking, yeah, they're going 6-0, you know?
Absolutely
But
not.
just the way they've connected, it's hard for me to believe that the Angels could do it. But then I think, their fan base,
Their fan base, man.
if Romeo is able to make it,
They
I
need
don't know.
Romeo. That is
Yes,
key. That is
that's really key. Yeah.
necessity. I know it's crazy talking about it because he's a rookie and we
Hmm.
know he's still young, like in grade eight. But we've seen this guy. The moment he came in, he made impact. And it's like he's never gotten the time to fully shine, to fully grow, because
Hmm.
he had an injury to start off, and then there's been some other things that have gone on. He hasn't been able to be there. So it's just made it like so tough to know what
Yeah.
could this team look like if Romeo was there, because they have so many other pieces supporting cast that I think is really good. Like,
Hmm.
if you look at last game, I can't remember how many blocks Zyman got, but he had like something like 4, 5 blocks or something crazy like last game that he
Hmm.
played. Like, he was sensational, and like we know we can see that from him. He's a rebounder. You know what I mean, as well. And then you've got
Yeah.
Michael, who's an interior scorer. You've got Tiago, who can spread the floor. You've got Ryder, who also is very versatile. He can do a little bit of everything. You got Achilles, who's like a perimeter maestro defender, and
Yeah.
also, when he needs to get a bucket, gets a bucket. Like they have a lot of things that could work if it works in their favor. Because if you really look at their team over the course, like if you dissect the games, you
Hmm.
have to go and you have to dissect the game, and you look at most of their games were close,
Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
and a few of them they were leading.
yeah. No,
So
I
it's
know.
you add Romeo, what does that look like? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What does that look like? I think at least they give at minimum they give a fighting chance to the Lions.
Yeah. I mean, they only lost by 11 points.
Hmm.
So it wasn't, and they've grown as a team. And honestly, Zyman has really,
Oh man,
he's stepped up big. Like
yeah.
he's hitting all these shots, that he doesn't typically hit. And he's just fighting tooth and nail for that team. And I really hope, I really hope they can all come together and
Hmm.
just and make it happen. Make it a game, a really close game, and show me up. Like I don't know. I really do hope that.
But man, we light a fire when we say things. So I like that though, because
Yeah.
when we see things that I feel like actually makes it very entertaining. So
Hmm.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you got that. Before we go into predictions fully, though, I want to hit on what are some of the best highlights that you've seen so far from the regular season that took place.
Highlight.
Hmm.
Man, I mean, there was a bunch of buzzer beaters, man. There was, I mean, Ashton's was just unreal there,
Wow.
right? That had to have been
What do
like,
you think about that? Because you were there in person. I was watching online,
oh, I
but
can't
you were
believe it.
there in
I
person,
can't
bro.
believe it. I can't believe it. And then the obvious question right away is, did he hit it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
did
yeah,
it come out of his hands on time, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we actually had one. I don't know, if you were able to see the whole game, but in the first half, when the buzzer, or it was with Kiel, I think it was. It wasn't that game, but it was, or yeah, it was that game, right? Because it was True North against
Yeah,
the
yeah. Shooting
Warriors,
out the
right?
tours. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there was actually a shot earlier in the game where Kiel got the ball and it just didn't come out of his hands on time, right?
Mm,
And so we called that one out, and then this one, like I reviewed it immediately
yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't even believe it, man. I was like, I heard the buzzer and I was like, it looked good, but like I got to make sure. It had to have been like point something,
My
point
goodness. Yeah,
two. It was close, man. And
that
so
is
that unbelievable, just unbelievable to see that leave his hands.
three defenders draped all over him. Okay,
Oh,
three
yeah,
defenders draped all over him. Not only mentioned he's leaning, he's literally fading away,
yeah,
leaning to the side. He gets it
yeah.
up, still lined up, gets it up in time still. No, we're talking about that thing didn't hit the backboard, but it didn't bounce around the rim. It went
No,
straight on in.
it was unbelievable, man. Honestly, to be there, like it just like it. At first, you saw it, and you're like, and then it started looking good, and you're like, no way, like no way. It was good, but I mean, honestly, Ashton this season, I think he's got to
Most
be the
touch
most
player?
clutch play. Yeah,
Most
he's got
touch
to be the
player.
most clutch player.
Yeah.
He did that this week, this
Hmm.
past week, and then the week before
The week
against the
before.
Strikers.
Wow.
The week before against the Strikers, right? What did he put up? 13 points in the overtime or something? It was something
Yeah, it
crazy.
was some crazy. I think it was like 13 points. Nobody's ever done that before in CYBL history. That was
No,
unbelievable.
yeah, in 3 minutes, in three
And
minutes,
three,
like he honestly barely had any points most of the game, and then
no.
he just went off in overtime. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's it's been incredible. But yeah, so I don't know. So those are like, I mean, and they obviously beat us in overtime.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
So true.
like I mean, the Warriors have kind of had like they haven't done anything like crushed teams,
Hmm.
and but like all their wins this season
Yeah.
were like just fighting tooth and nail, and I think that's kind of the way I see their team,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
they don't lose in those hard games anymore. So
No.
I feel
No.
like that's why they have such a potential to
To
make
make it.
that run.
Can I
Yeah,
can I tell you what I think?
yeah,
It's a big take, a big, big take.
Okay.
I think they're gonna upset the Lions, man.
Wow.
I think Warriors upset the Lions. You heard it here first. This is a hot take.
Wow. So
I
you
think it's
think
gonna
they're going to
happen.
beat True North and then they're going to beat the Lions?
And I have to say it's sad because True North is like, they're my team, my
Yeah,
former
yeah,
team. I believe in them, and they could do something because, to be honest, you've seen glimpses of greatness in True North, so I know that they can do greatness. And let me just say, I wouldn't be surprised to see True North get to the semifinals, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them in a close game against the
yeah.
Lions. I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised with that.
Yeah.
But when I look at the Warriors right now, just because
Mm.
there's just so many things aligning, this is what I'll say. What's aligning is they've got great team chemistry. Probably, I would say, top two chemistry
Yeah.
wise. When you look at their team chemistry, their team
Hmm.
dynamic, their their pressure defense is impossible.
Unbelievable.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You're scratching your head half the time of how do you get the ball
Yeah.
past half court because of the way
Yeah.
they play defense on you. And then when you got a leader like Ashton, man, fully
Yeah.
healthy like that,
Yeah.
like a close game, you just give him the ball, let him go to work. At this point,
Now, all I
yeah,
have to say to that though, if True North had just called a timeout when they had that ball there and that ball was in Keel's hands, we might be singing a different tune here. Because Keel had that other one too. So that was actually a highlight of the season too,
that's
building
what
on
I
your
was gonna
point
think
there.
of. That actually
Yeah,
was gonna be my highlight was Keel's
yeah.
3 pointer because
So that story could have went completely the other
it
way, right?
really
But
could have.
it is hard sometimes in those last few seconds. You don't want to kill the momentum, but sometimes that
Yeah,
timeout's just needed just to
uh,
settle the ball down for a second, get it in the right guy's hands, and get that
especially
shot off.
especially because they didn't have a clear path to the basket. It wasn't like it was a clear path to as a coach and a fan of
Yeah.
True North, that frustrated me because I was like, I know what could happen here. Nobody's fault. You're in the heat of the moment. I've made
Oh yeah.
mistakes. I've made mistakes in the heat of the moment. I already know there's things when I look back, I'm like, man, I could have done that differently. I wish I did that
Oh
differently.
yeah.
You know, so like in the heat of the moment, it's really hard to tell even. But man, yeah, if they because what happened was they got the steal on that possession. You go back take a look at that. What happened there? They had the ball on a steal on that possession. It goes to Aiden in the corner, right?
Hmm.
Aiden then thinks that I feel like he thought Jacob was closer than he was for whatever reason because he
Hmm.
passed it. He had two defenders on him, double teaming him, and another defender behind them.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I think he thought that he was closer, but so he passes it. And the moment that happened, I was like, oh no. That turnover
Mm.
came with like 3 seconds left on the clock. Diego made a
Yeah.
really smart decision to call a timeout though.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
the rest is history. So,
The rest is history. Yeah.
but you're right, man. The story could have been written a whole different way.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we'd be saying Keel was the most clutch player of the season, right?
Well, yeah, yeah.
He's definitely still in the conversation, but
If nothing else,
I
he's
think,
knocking on the door.
yeah, I think it was just, if that ball had ended up in his hands in the last 3 seconds, we probably would have been singing that tune, right?
Hmm,
So,
hmm. Yeah, it's true. Because yeah, he's hit his fair share of buzzer beaters and game
yes.
winners in his time.
Yeah.
Even as a coach, proud coach. But yeah, bro. I mean, when we look at that, we see some of those. We talk about some of those top plays. I want to talk now about some of the just from seeing the regular season. We could talk about some of the regular season awards. And players that we feel like are those candidates for those awards that are coming up. Let's start off with yours truly, probably the most debated one we're going to be talking about because, in my opinion, it's the closest race we've had in many seasons, the closest race in many, many seasons, and that's the MVP award.
I think I have the same answer for this every year. Like, I don't think my answers ever changed. I don't even know why you ask me. Like, we gotta get someone else on here with a fresh
We
opinion.
do, we do, we do.
Goodness, my opinion hasn't changed and it won't change. I'm biased I'll be biased forever.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Uh,
Man. You've coached the goat for
I,
you've coached
yeah,
the goat for as long as he's been here. So
hey, listen, when you have the greatest player. Like, there's no, like, no one can can convince you otherwise that there's someone you would, if I was given the option to pick, and I think that's when you look at it, when you have the option to pick, hey, which three of these guys do you want to take? You know, it's not that I don't want the other two guys, but if I'm going to pick, it's going to be Aiden. You know, he's, it's like, but I think they all bring a little bit something different to the table.
They do.
And I think the thing is, for my team, Aiden fits the best for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I also see him as the greatest. But I think you look at the strikers and they go, hey, man, like, and I will tell you, like, I'm all good if people pick Braden or Nathan because whatever, but like, Braden, man, is a leader. He is a sharpshooter, man. He is a sharpshooter.
He's a
100%.
sharpshooter.
I think that actually has to be a conversation.
Oh man, you have to. You're making it one right now. I think it is. Just because.
I think, yeah, I know we're not talking about that one, but anyways, once we get there, that's got to be a conversation, 100%. But like, he's a sharpshooter, he's a leader, he's strong, defender, you know what I mean? The only area he's weaker than Aiden is rebound. And like, that's where, like, Aiden is the top rebounder in the league. The top. He's not only the top in points, he's the top rebounder, right? You know,
crazy.
so that's for me, it's like, you know, and Aiden's also grown a ton as a leader, and that's where I think, like, now I know we're going to talk about records and stuff, but listen, my team had to have had the hardest schedule. Like, we played the Lions, the Flames, the Strikers, all the top teams, and we played the Warriors. Literally every single top team, we played them. We even played True North. We didn't play we didn't play anyone who was in the bottom four. The top four teams.
Until you played them, though.
No, exactly. No, but I'm just saying, like, I think if you're talking about record, like, if you're like, oh, well, what about record? I gotta disagree. Like, our schedule couldn't have been harder. Like, we couldn't have had, and we lost our other top guy, Justin, for half the season. So, I just can't, I know you're gonna disagree, but I can't agree.
No, I was gonna say though, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna fully disagree, but what I will say is what somebody might come across and ask you though, but if you are the MVP, shouldn't those translate into wins then? You know what I mean? Like that's what somebody would come across and say and actually ask that question. Because if you are, then sure you played all the biggest teams, but shouldn't you be one of them? You know?
We are really close to being one of them. We're not.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, you're in the playoffs, so that's something to be said. But I definitely think this race is going to be probably the closest race that we've ever had to be a part of and witness before us. Like there's some, it's just incredible. We talk. I'm just going to pull up right here some stats. Okay, top three, just because outside of those three, I mean, they've had incredible seasons in their own right, but these three just went leaps and bounds beyond them. Like I don't think we've ever had a season with three players averaging almost 25 points each.
Unbelievable.
Like, you know what it also is a testament though? It's a testament to the talent level in the Central Conference. It's gotten exponential, like leaps and bounds beyond anything that we've ever seen to this point. So it's crazy. But I mean, okay, so let's look at all three of them here. Look first, Aiden. All right, top scorer, 26.7 points a game. That's incredible. 9 rebounds. The one spot that I thought he would have done better in is his blocks, though, because that was one of his staples. He's not really done that hot in the block category this season.
I know. I thought he was. I mean, sometimes it's hard, right? Like, so I don't know. I thought he was still getting quite a few blocks. Like, I felt like in the games he's blocked a few guys, but I could be wrong.
So right now he's at 0.7. Steals is at 1.3. All right. And then you turn your attention. So this is where we're going to talk about Nathan here, because this is where I think he's just not being looked at enough for his defense this season.
His perimeter.
He's got to be looked at a little bit more this season for his defense when you look at what he did over the course of the season. So you got 25.2 points a game, 0.5 blocks, 2 rebounds. He's not really a rebounder, but you got 3.0 steals per game. Like,
which are huge.
That's incredible. To think that you could put him on the floor at any given game and say, "You're going to get me 3 steals tonight."
Mm-hmm.
That's massive. That's massive.
Yeah.
And so I look at Nathan and I go, okay, well, he's a threat on the perimeter now. Like, I don't think he's ever been a threat on the perimeter. He's never been a threat on defense. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I know he'll probably agree with me with this, though. He's never been a threat on defense, but this season he's actually made himself a threat on the perimeter on defense, which is impressive. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
then and then you got Braden Taylor-Smith, who's averaging 24.7 points a game, 5.7 rebounds. So he's like right in the middle of them both, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then 2.3 steals per game, which also shows that, he's got both aspects of his game locked down too. Now, if I was going to give it to anyone this season, it would have to be Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Reason why I would give it to Nathan, I'll explain. But I'll explain. To go completely undefeated this season in the
Yeah.
hardest division is something to be talked about. I think that's incredible to witness. To be the leader on your team doing it and to excel your defense to such a level. Not only that, though, but to actually take your whole team and have them all raise up to a certain level. His whole team has risen to a level that
Yeah.
we have never seen them at before. We're talking about players like Kyson, Landon. We're talking about even a new player, Nathaniel Peters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had 5 points
Aiden
last game.
Salazar.
Talking about like he's making the rest of his players better around him too. And he just does it differently because he's got a different style to the way he does things.
Yes. Yeah.
He's got a different flair. But I definitely, I don't know. That's my take on
Yeah. Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
look at this. You know?
Yeah. It's all good. I appreciate the different takes. I think they're fair takes too. Like I don't think it's like some wild thought to think that
Mhm.
Nathan shouldn't get it, like or should get it. Sorry, he's definitely deserving. Like he's him. Like if Aiden, Nathan, or Braden got it, I wouldn't
Yeah,
think none of them were deserving. Like all of them deserve it. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
up to the voters,
It's
right?
up to the
So
voters, man. We're gonna see what they
yeah,
say. We're gonna see what they say. So let's look at, I know we don't got tons of time. I want to get to some other things, but let's look at a few more of these. Let's take a look at the most improved player award. I know
mm.
we mentioned Mark Murphy. Is there anyone else that comes to mind when you think of most improved player this season?
Like it's hard because like I feel Jacob Hackett is there, but I just don't know like if like statistic like maybe not like we're
Let
not
me take a
talking
look here. Let me take a
statistically,
look here. Because statistically, he's averaging almost 14 points a game. We're talking about 13.8 this season. We go back a
right?
season ago. Let's just pull it up for all of the audience watching. I'm going to pull this up right here for us. And let's take a look at where he was, where he ranked when we look at last season. Because I don't even see him, bro. I'm just going to be honest. He's not even in the top. He's not in the top 10. He's not in the top 20.
Right.
He's not in the top
Like
25.
that's crazy. So like yeah, like and then his rebounding, he's 3.7 rebounds per game, which is huge. He's averaging, point 0.3 blocks, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's got 2.3 steals per game.
Wow. Wow.
I think Jacob Hackett, it's just like
Yeah.
even if stats weren't that much better, it's the noticeable fact of
Yeah.
how much like he's contributing on the court. Like
Yeah.
I feel like he's a part of everything on
He's
that team. Like everything runs through him as a point guard. And now that he's the point guard, not that Zach, diminished him. I think he played a key role with Zach. He knew
his
what his role
development
was
too.
with Zach. And so now him being the guy on that team is perfect. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's perfect. He's ready for it.
He is
He does
ready.
a great job with it. So I think he's he's
You're
definitely got
gonna
to be a front runner.
you're gonna be shocked when I tell you his stats last season, man. He averaged
Okay.
he averaged 5 points per game,
Wow.
5.3 rebounds, which is still good, and 1.2 steals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
if you look at his stat line, other than the rebounds, he's essentially doubled.
yeah, dude, he almost tripled his points.
That's crazy.
Like
That's crazy. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yep,
Like we're
that's
talking. That's
crazy.
like that to me. That's just what I was talking about in our first pod that we did. This is showing me signs of a Nathan-like improvement.
Right. Yeah.
Nathan was the only player that I could say took such a drastic improvement. The only player in all CYBL history that I can attest to. There's been
Hmm.
many that have improved in really good ways, but he literally has taken a jump like Nathan, where Nathan went from averaging actually like 5 points a game one season to where he had
Right.
another season where he averaged 15.
Right.
And this is
Yeah.
on that level. Like that's that
Yeah. Yeah.
caliber. And so it only begs the question, what more can Jacob do? You know what I mean? What more can Jacob do? We look at this is his first season of doing this. He's about to be an all-star. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? He's about to literally he's a top 7 in scoring. He's on a championship contending team. What more can Jacob do? Is he going to break himself into a conversation as one of the not only rising stars, but one of the up and coming superstars in our league today?
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, no, he's been excellent. So yeah, I definitely put him in that conversation
Hmm.
as a
Yeah.
as the most improved. He's definitely there, man. Like 100%.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah.
Someone else that I would put in that conversation too, just because we've seen it, but he's showing us something he's never showed us before. Noah Trate, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
he has to be in this conversation too. Yeah, he has to be. It's his first time being an All Star,
Mm.
and not only
Wow.
that, but he's also averaging. Let me just pull it up here so I don't botch this stat because I want to actually get this right
Yeah.
for
I've
all of
got
us
it
there.
here if you
You
want.
got it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's 8 points per game. He's 2.4 rebounds and 1.4 steals.
yeah. This was never his stat line before.
Mm.
He's always averaged like I think 4 or less points per game. Like he's always been
Mm.
that player that he can be the impact player, his corner 3-point shot. But now I feel like he's actually like a vital, like not that he wasn't a vital piece in the offense, but now he's actually a pivotal piece in this offense
Yeah.
for the Warriors.
Yeah.
So that is going to be something that we got to watch. Obviously, there's an
Yeah.
exponentiality about what Jacob Hackett is doing, but
Oh yeah.
you gotta look and be like, okay, here's another great improvement we're watching from Noah Trache as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. And like it's just like he's always been a heart player, right? So to see just the skill like up at that level as well is great to see.
It's incredible, man. It's incredible. For the sake of time, I got to turn our attention here. We always have so much to talk about, not
Yes,
enough
yeah.
time to do it. We're just gonna turn our attention here and let's talk about this breakdown, the bracket breakdown, bro, for this season, because well, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy what we have going on.
Hmm.
For any of you that want to go and see the bracket, literally just go over to our Instagram account and you'll see it. It's one of the top posts right now up there. But essentially, we've talked about it briefly, but I want to hear from us both our predictions, the
Right.
iconic predictions that everybody loves hearing before we go into this. And at this time, our predictions have a lot more weight because, hey, we're not just talking about the Gideon Cup. We're talking about the OCC. We're
The
talking about
OCC.
the OCC, my guy.
Yeah. I know. It's heart-wrenching to think only 2 out of 10 teams are gonna make that. Like that is what a war that's gonna be, man. Like, part of me is like I all I care is if we make it to the finals. Like I don't
Hmm.
even care if we win the Gideon this year. I just want to make it to the OCC, man, and then like I want to win the Gideon, but man, like the OCC's the vision this season, you know?
OCC, bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
Big things
crazy.
with the OCC this season, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to our OCC sponsors, Like 100.3, who has been an incredible sponsor of ours, but they're actually sponsoring one of our big sponsors for this upcoming OCC. So
Hey, let's go.
want to shout them out there.
Beauty.
Yes. And we're gonna have another sponsor too, but I can't shout them out just yet, but I will soon.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, yeah. So big
What do
things,
you want to
man.
start with? What do you want to start with? Legacy or Destiny?
let's start with yours, man. Let's start with the Destiny, bro. What's
Man.
yours? Yes, you got the most experience in the Destiny, so.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna say let's kind of go in order here, I guess, because we're the
Hmm.
last game. So strikers and knights. I'm gonna say that the strikers beat the knights.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't even. I personally, I don't think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be. I think the strikers are gonna come out flying. I think yeah, their offense is just something else, right?
62 points against you guys is impressive.
Yeah, I know. That is honestly like for a team like prior to that game, honestly. Um, we were only averaging 30 points against per game, so they doubled it up on us, right? Like the Flames, the highest scoring team in the league, we kept them to 30 some like 32 or something,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So the Strikers got 62. That's
That's crazy.
crazy.
I remember
So
watching the crazy part about that game. So I'm gonna go back for 2 seconds just because the
yeah,
game was
yeah, yeah.
insane. I was watching that game right before our youth event, and I remember watching it and saying to myself, "There, there's no way you can stop them because they keep matching every bucket. They were
They,
matching every bucket that you made. They had a bucket for what you made. It didn't matter, and it came from anybody. It wasn't
it
just
came from
Braden.
anybody. No, it came from dude. Braden didn't even hit half their points. He hit 28. They had 62. What are you supposed to do? Like, we tried man to man. We did zone. We tried so many things, and they just it was one of those nights where if everything could go right, it went right for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
And so, perhaps they don't always get that, where it's always going in at that rate.
That level, yeah.
Yeah, like, and so it was just a great shooting night for them. I'm not taking anything away, but wow, like, I don't think I've ever seen so many people hit so many threes. Like, we were
I've never
getting,
seen that.
we were getting absolutely like just even Mark Murphy hit two threes too. Like, it was just like everyone was hitting. Like, it's just
Everyone.
like it was like,
There was a
what
three
what is
points
going
anointing
on?
in the room, bro.
Oh yeah,
3 point
it was
anointing.
unbelievable. No, so I think the Strikers win pretty good against the Knights. And then, man, this is a hard one for me. I want to win. I do
Yeah.
want to win. It's going to be close. If we pull it off, if we pull it off, I think that gives us the momentum to the finals.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
If we do not pull it off, I think the Flames. Man, actually, I don't know.
But the Flames are
Yeah, I
gonna
think
run
the
into the Strikers.
I think the Flames beat the
Oof.
Strikers. I think whoever wins our game goes to the finals between us
Wow.
and the Flames.
Wow. That's a take.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah. I think strikers are still fresh. That's the
Okay.
thing, right?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they're still a young team, right? It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
what we've seen in the Warriors in season past.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
they make mental lapses or just they don't like Braden's leadership is next to none, right? So I'm not
His
not going to take
basketball
that away.
IQ. This is
Yeah,
IQ is
yeah,
on a whole. I don't think we've seen a player in CYBL with that kind of IQ.
yeah.
I'm
No,
talking. It's
it's
more than just
incredible.
his. It's more scoring. It's more than like,
Yeah,
man. He literally knows how to read the court. Like if
yeah.
he's reading like a math equation. I've seen him make some passes that I have no idea how it got through three defenders.
Unbelievable. Yeah, his passes are incredible. So no,
Wow.
he's an amazing point guard, and so I think it's not to take away from his ability, but his
Hmm.
supporting cast is younger, and I just don't know that seeing us or the Flames, teams that have been there before, right? That have
Yeah.
that
The
have been through the
experience.
wars, yeah,
Yeah.
of semifinals, right? I don't know, and this could give them
Hmm. Hmm.
what they need to make it through that. But I do think whoever wins between us and the Flames is going to the finals.
Ooh, that is
All right,
hot.
your turn. Your
That
turn.
is hot. Okay. Well, I mean, starting off with strikers and knights, I definitely think sorry knights. I just think that, but here's the thing. So I got word. I got word that Valerie's gonna come back and coach.
Wow.
So I got
Wow.
word about this.
Well, okay. Well, that's
I
some
got
key
word about this.
information that I wasn't privy to
I got
before.
some
That could
deep.
make a difference.
It could make a huge difference. Championship coach. three-time champion. She's been to the finals 5 or 6 times. Like
Hmm.
yeah, and she can turn any team into legendary
Yeah.
status. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's back. So
Wow.
yeah, I wasn't expecting it either, but she's back. So it's gonna be something to see, man.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah, that'll be something to see. I think that ultimately, I still think the Strikers pull it off. I still think the Strikers pull it off, but I think it's gonna be closer than what we think.
Well, I think now that you say she's back, I think it'll be a close game.
Hmm.
I have to change my tune on that
Yeah,
because,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, if she's back, I honestly think that's a close game. I
yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
she's got a lot of tricks up her sleeve to
Hmm.
help them get that game within reach, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And so that I think that'll be a close game. Ultimately, I think the Strikers pull it off. Now, if there was to be an upset, it's possible. But what I would like to see from the Knights, because what I'm not seeing from them is what we saw early season, and I'll explain what exactly I'm talking about. When we saw all of them rise to the occasion, and it was like
Hmm.
every player had something. We were talking about everybody. We were talking
Hmm.
about Vance. We were talking about Jacob Kozlowski. We were talking about all of them because they all brought something just to the table, and it was like, wow. But in the last couple of games, I don't think we've seen a team effort like that.
Yeah. The ball movement isn't there anymore.
No.
It's too like, and you can shut that down as soon as you catch
Hmm.
on to, hey, this guy's, like it needs to be ball movement, man,
Hmm.
because their other guy, Kai, he's incredible, man. He really helped them last game to
Yeah.
even win that game.
Yeah.
He just, every time he got the ball, he was putting it in the net.
Hmm.
I think, he's got to have definitely more touches on it. And, yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely, if they play as a team, they can win this.
They can do it. They can do it for sure. So yeah, I think there's a chance of an upset there. Actually, still gonna say Strikers take it though. And then in your game, I want to say, um, wow, it's actually really tough. The reason is because of the history. I think the key
Yes.
factor for you is finding out if Jacob's coming back.
If Justin's coming.
Justin, my bad. Yeah, Justin.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Justin is coming back, I think I would change my prediction. But at this point, without Justin, I think there's an overwhelming, resounding yes to the Flames winning this game,
Mm.
just because of the amount of pieces that they can go to and turn to, and
Oh
because
yeah.
like we talked about, Nathan's playing in his home court, and he can shoot from literally anywhere and feel super comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
I could just see that happening. It would take for me catastrophic shooting game for the whole team and for Nathan. But even then, I don't even know because Nathan in the clutch is a different player. Playoff Nate
Hmm.
looks different. So
Yeah.
I know you don't want to hear this, man, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta
No,
say
it's
the
all good,
players.
man.
I gotta say the
It's
players.
a close call for me too. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. I gotta
I
say the
get
players.
it. I get it.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Now
what do you think for next round?
next round, I got you because you already did that. The next round, Flames and Strikers. I'm trying to remember their game in the. Did they play each other in the regular season?
No. No.
My goodness,
Flames, Strikers, and Lions, the top three teams have not played each other at all.
that's unreal. Well, in this case, my thoughts are, I was thinking this already, but I think the Strikers are going to beat the Flames. I think the Strikers are going to do it. The
Wow.
reason, and I'll explain because, well, I don't think there's another,
Wow.
I don't think, I still don't think Nathan's a leader, don't get me wrong. From what I've seen, Braden Taylor's only in his rookie season, but he's also older. He's in grade 12.
Yes.
The maturity level that he carries, on top of which, what I have seen from him in terms of bringing his whole team up,
Hmm.
and I've seen it from Nathan, but what I've seen from him is unbelievable. I think that he's gonna. I think that they'll. I think they'll do it. I think they'll do it also because, yeah, I could just see them. I could just see because Braden's not just a shooter. Braden can drive to the basket at will, and he's got a
Oh
built
yeah.
body to be able to get through through contact. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
finish in. How many times has he gone and one?
Oh yeah.
All the
Yeah.
time. So when I look at it, I look at that. Then I look at the supporting cast. Anybody can step up, but Adamo is going to be huge in the playoffs. He always is huge. He's got to be a
Someone
runner-up
we
for.
haven't mentioned on that team is River Branch. He's been
I
killing it.
forgot about River Branch, bro.
He's been
My
killing it.
goodness, man. So yeah, I've got to go. That's what I got to go with, bro. And I got to go strikers to the finals, strikers to the OCC. That's my
Yeah.
take. That's my take.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right.
We're almost done,
Next.
bro. We're almost done. Let's go.
Next. What do you got? You go
All right,
next. You go
I'll go
next.
first. I'll go first. So
Yeah.
for for the legacy, which I'm gonna say between True North and the Warriors. My goodness, wow. It's not even just like because like my heart is with True North, but like it's not even just that. Like the reality of it is it's going to be an extremely close game. Like you just know it. You can just feel it even right now.
Yeah. We just saw it last week.
We
Yeah.
saw
It's
it.
like, yeah, we already saw the reality, you
We
know?
saw it. Now, what I would say is True North's not experienced. Like they have experienced players. Like
Hmm.
they got Keel, who's still there. You know what I mean? They got Jacob that's still there, but like they got Thomas and Elijah that are kind of in betweeners because they've been there a couple seasons.
Hmm.
But they're also young, and so I think the experience for me, his experience is not there. And so
Yeah.
what gets me for True North, the team that I love and I'd love to say is going all the way, is they were in a rebuild season and they had to do a lot to rebuild to get back to this point where they're and to be honest, they rebuilt well because they're still in contention, I would say. But I have to say the experience of the Warriors and the depth and how long they've been together, I just think that it's gonna be the Warriors. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, excuse me, I'm gonna say the Warriors, and then I'm gonna say for the second game, I'm gonna say the Lions. So the Lions and Warriors, play each other. That's gonna be an intense game. I think the Warriors get the upset.
Wow.
I'm
That's
saying the Warriors
crazy.
get the upset. I'm gonna say the
That's
Warriors get the
crazy.
upset. Warriors get the upset, and they make their way to the OCC.
Wow. That is crazy,
That's my take.
man. So I'm gonna go a bit different here.
All right.
I got same thing, Warriors and Lions
Yeah.
in the semis, but I'm gonna go Lions winning because I think what you're gonna see is you're gonna see a pressed Lions team, a team
Mm,
that is gonna be like pushed into an uncomfortable position
excuse me.
and kind of true to their name as Lions, they're gonna come out roaring, man, and they're gonna come out absolutely fighting for their
Yeah.
lives. And I think once you see that, you're about to see greatness from a lot of players on that
Wow.
team.
Wow.
Um, and I think that's what you're going to see. I think you're going to see the Warriors maybe even get ahead
Yeah.
for a while and start taking the lead. But Coach Glenn this season, man, these are things that,
He's
got to be
coaching the heck
taken
out
into
of them.
account, right? He's been practicing almost every week
Wow.
with that team. Like they are prepped. They are ready.
Mm-hmm.
They are a unit. And so
Mm,
when you get that close to your teammates, when you're that much friends with everyone, when the hard times come, you don't give up on one another. You build on that, right? And I think that's what's going to propel them to the final.
wow, man. That
Yeah.
is. I could see it now. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I could see it happening because I think when they could be in a place where they just feel too comfortable because they've won all their
Yeah.
games and then they need some pressure put on them in order to accomplish. I think ultimately, if you really think about it, Joe, the pressure's put on them. I think the one question for me for the Warriors would be, do you have an answer for Rio?
Hmm.
Because
That's it.
I think they can deal with everything else, but when it comes to Rio, he is a beast, and we've seen it. He's had games where he's had double doubles, 20-point games, and you're like, oh my goodness. But then he
Yeah.
doesn't have to do it all the time. So like
He
he
doesn't
doesn't.
have to do it. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like they're literally holding back so many weapons because they don't have to do it. They don't. There's no necessity on their end, right? But I think like the key for them is getting Riem to foul out early, right? That's what
Yeah.
we did when I coached the Knights. We just kept setting, we just set and he would run right into them, plow them over,
Hmm.
get a charge, and we just did that over and over till he got out of the game. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's essential, man. Like you got to try and get rid of one of their main, most dominant pieces. And if they
You
can get
have
rid
to.
of him early, I think they've got to run for it. But
They could do
so
it.
for Riem, he's got to be careful, man. He's got to stay out of foul trouble, which has been an ongoing thing
It's an
for many,
ongoing thing.
many seasons, right? So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. And I mean, hey, this could be the first, because like, think about Rio. He was on the Strikers last season. He gets, heartbreaking season for him and the team. Started off the
Hmm.
season well, but didn't end well. Misses the playoffs. He was distraught after, if you actually go back and
Yes. Yeah, I
he was
do remember.
distraught after not making the playoffs. Then be traded to the Lions and now be in this position. Like you have to capitalize on this because it doesn't come around very often. And you got like now Jacob Hackett, who's come up as this like all-star on your team that
Yeah.
you can rely on. And he's also, he can pass the ball, he can create his own shot, Then you
Yeah.
can't forget you still have Eddie, who's like
I know.
he's like one of the
Top
preeminent
rebounders.
rebounders and power forwards in the game right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got, wow, like that big three, that's a big three. And that's not even giving into account the Ethan Judds of the world. That's not bringing
Max
into
Sherry.
account Max Sherry. That's not bringing into account anything else that they have on this roster. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
be impressive.
No, I know they've got like Marshall Dennis is good too, man. Like he's good, and then so is Rocco, man.
Go
Like
too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, and then Lucas, yeah, Lucas Borowski
Lucas,
there,
I forgot
yeah,
about Lucas. Man. Oh,
man, yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So many good
So
pieces. So many
so
good pieces.
many, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
And Zion's been playing a lot better too.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
he's had a few good games, like
Yes.
yeah, no. So they've really come together. I don't know. Anyways, all that to say, I personally think they make their way on to the
Hmm.
finals there, and then. So what do we got in the finals? You're saying Flames and
I'm saying
Warriors.
strikers and warriors.
Oh, you're saying Strikers and Warriors.
Strikers and the Warriors. Is what I'm saying. I think we're gonna have a new finals this season. I think it's gonna
Wow,
look
new finals,
new
new
finals,
teams.
new teams on both sides. I think it's gonna be fresh. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
wow. So what do you say? Who wins that?
Uh, I think the strikers win. I
You
think the
think the
strikers.
Strikers
I think
win?
the
Oh,
strikers
you
do.
think the Warriors choke again?
Unfortunately, I do.
No.
I do. I think the strikers win. The strikers. There's something different in their eye. Like I look at them right now, and I'm like, they have a goal in front of them, and there's nothing that's going to stop them. There's something different about the strikers. I don't even know. You look, even just look at Coach Joe, and I just feel like they
Yeah,
there is something different in the air for the strikers right now, bro. Like,
yeah. I love
I
it.
can't see
I
it. I
love
can't.
it.
Yeah, I can't see them losing a game in this playoffs.
Wow,
No,
wow.
I can't see it.
That's crazy. That's actually
Yeah,
wow. I love it. Well, that's cool, man.
I'm going with that. That's my hot take, bro.
That's your hot take.
Yep.
Okay. Well, in my in my world, if we make it to the finals, I could see us losing to the Lions.
Mm.
If we make it, I could see us losing to the Lions. And then bring the ultimate comeback at the OCC and
The
beat them.
OCC, bro.
Yeah. The ultimate goal anyways, right? So
That's
even
it.
if they
That's
beat
it.
us in the finals, we'll see them. We'll see them.
Oh
We'll
man,
see
that's
them at
gonna
the
be
OCC.
at the OCC, Catholic
Yes.
Christian College. It's gonna be one ride, bro. It's gonna be incredible, man.
Yeah.
Apologies for the cops right now. I need some
That's all
water,
good, man.
and I can see my water. It's on the other side of the room, and I just can't get to it.
Can't get to it. I know. That's why I put mine close today. I knew it was a bit dry today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think that's it, man. Like, I don't know. Do you have
Yeah.
any last words for the people?
Man, well, guys, it's been another fun season, and we appreciate all of you guys and getting to learn what we've learned, about Jesus being our champion, right?
Hmm.
In every area of every life, our lives, right? And so, in this, there can only be one winner, right? And so don't let that discourage you, like we talked about in the preseason, right? That Jesus is there with you in those times of hardship. He's there with you in the times of disappointment, right? And ultimately, he won the victory over death for our lives. So I think, that's the key to everything here is that you're a champion when you're with him,
Yeah, that's so
whether
good.
you win or lose this weekend, in the Eastern Conference and in, what are you guys? Or yeah, you're the Eastern, right?
We're
And
the
we're the
East
Central.
Central,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So whoever wins in all of those, right? At the end of the day, that it's just a momentary thing, but
Yeah,
Jesus is eternal.
come on. That's so good, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. I feel like, you know, that's ultimately why we're here, man. That's ultimately why we're
Hmm.
here. Like we are here. This league is all here because we realized Jesus was our champion, and there was no way we were gonna win in life without him. We
Amen.
were losing
Yeah.
hard in life
Yeah, man.
without him. And when he came in and he encountered us and met us, it has transformed us to the point where we need to tell you about this champion and what he can do
Amen.
for your life.
Yeah.
And so we don't have to live defeated. We can live in victory. So, yeah, man. But that's great. Great, guys. Thank you guys for joining us on this pod. Know that this will not be the last pod of the season because we will have our OCC pod talk show after the
Yeah.
playoffs is complete. It'll be exciting. Who knows? We might even bring a guest speaker on the show, too. Who knows
Yeah.
whatever's coming. But we want to do it
Let's
big
do
for you
it.
guys. So, yeah, stay tuned, guys. So, God bless. And, yeah, take care. We'll see you guys soon.